So what I did is what you find globally around the planet. Chicken dish. Everybody loves chicken. I do lots of different chicken variations. The one I did today, that I'm going to show you guys shortly, is a whole roast chicken. Not complicated. Pat it dry, just salt, heavy salt, both sides, all over, light pepper, a little bit of oil, put it in the oven, let it cook for an hour, pull it out, cover it up for an hour and a half, out of the oven, just sitting over here to the side, and you will be amazed how moist the chicken breasts are. It's done perfectly. You read the directions and the ingredients of exactly how it is. Classic every time, no problems. One thing I do is when it comes to having a gravy, and in New Orleans we'll call it a gravy versus a sauce or a stock, but I like to make my own chicken stock from scratch. Basically getting the chicken parts, cooking them down, browning them, and then making the stock that way. If you don't want to do that, it's totally fine. Just buy the stock in the jars or the boxes and heat it up, cook it down by half. You really want to concentrate those flavors, and then you can thicken it up as the chicken is about ready to be served to everybody. You don't want it thin, but you're going to do it over rice or potatoes or something else that you like. But it's a real easy dish. It's not complicated. Oven, 1 hour, hour and a half, hour and 20 minutes up on the top, covered, and then you have your own stock. Serve it as you like, season as you like. Recipe down below, easy, not complicated, I promise, simple. What we're gonna do is whole roast chicken, and we're gonna do a homemade chicken stock, but I'm gonna show this first. Whole one, about six pounds, really good. You wanna pat it dry. Make sure it's happy patted dry. Make sure it's room temperature too. The last thing you want is to have a cold chicken going in. You'll never get a proper temp on it. Isn't that right, Justin?
That's correct.
Thank you, Justin.
And make sure you dry the inside.
Well, it doesn't really matter.
Oftentimes there's gizzards and things in here
I
that people
think-
may not know about.
I think I took them out.
You did.
I'm pretty sure I
Is there
took them out.
string also?
Yeah, no, I took them all out. We're good, baby. We're good. Thank you. Please wash your hands. Always coat with a little bit of olive oil on this, but I want to get it brown, nicely brown. So, want to rub it nicely. We're going to flip it over. Do the same thing on the bottom. Don't need to do a whole lot. Just want to show some love to the chicken. I love the chicken. The chicken is my friend. So when it comes to seasoning the chicken, not duck, chicken, I just want to use salt. That's all I want to use because I'm going to have good flavor coming from the stock. So get the bottom. If you want to add some pepper, you can add some pepper. You can add some black pepper, you can add some white pepper. Whatever makes you feel good as a person. Totally cool. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll put some black pepper on the bottom in case there's somebody who says, you got to put black pepper on there. Well, you don't have to, but I'll put some on there anyway. Could put garlic as well, I suppose, but all right. Let's just do some crinkles since this is going to be on the bottom anyway. There you go. This is just going to be on the bottom, so no biggie. This is how you do it. An hour uncovered in the oven at 425. Remove it. Put a cover on for another hour. That's it. That's all you got to do. It's the easiest thing in the world. It's not complicated. I tell you what, I'm going to add a little bit more happiness to it. Bit more happiness. Just a tad bit more happiness. Garlic powder. Some organic rosemary. You know, I bet you can't taste the difference between organic rosemary and regular rosemary. Just me. Some garlic powder. Just going to put it on the bottom. Yeah, all on the bottom. It's all going to come up anyway. All right, flip her over. We love her. For the top, just a good heavy salting. And use whatever kind of salt you want. Don't be picky. Now, do we want to put some more in there? We'll put some celery in. Just a little bit of celery. Come on, get in there. Don't you like that, Justin?
I would also put some quartered onion and maybe even some carrot.
Relax. Guess what? After this browns for a bit, we're going to add in some stock and a little bit of onion. But we've got onion that's going to go in the homemade stock. So, thank you. Simple, easy. There you go. 425. 1 hour. Homemade chicken stock. People want to know, do you spend the time to do chicken stock? You do find a flavor difference between the two, I promise you. So you can get, this is chicken broth. You can get chicken stock out of the little boxes. It's all fine, but it tastes very different. This is a darker one. I prefer a dark chicken stock to a light colored, transparent, yellowish chicken stock. So what I do is if you debone a chicken, you're taking out all the big quarters and you have the backbone and pieces, you chop it all up, toss them to a pan, or you can get wings or necks. These are all wings because I haven't chopped up the chicken yet. So this is what's here. So this is what it looks like. Just a bunch of different little wings all in here, all chopped up. And you're not gonna use this in the sauce, in the stock once you're done, unless you really want to. I mean, you could eat it, it'd be totally fine. But you want to get all the flavors from this. So what we're gonna do is that we've got just the pieces in here now. We're gonna brown them really dark. And to do that, you're gonna add a little bit of olive oil, just a tad, just so we don't burn the bottom. That's all we need. We're gonna blend it all up. Do a nice little mix on there, which is totally fine. Now to the stove. This is gonna take a while because we gotta get it up and brown nicely. You want it to start sticking. You don't wanna burn it, but you want a good dark brown to it. That's where your color is gonna come from. Chicken stock, next phase.
2.0.
We're gonna be at, so the chicken is darkened the way I want it to be. We're gonna add in a whole white onion.
Is that organic?
It probably
It doesn't look organic.
probably is not organic, Dad, but would you prefer organic? Oh, look at that.
Well, I mean, why
Would
do
you
hate
prefer-
the planet so much?
Well, have you met other humans on this planet? And?
You're just accelerating the apocalypse.
Yes, just accelerating. Just accelerating.
Hastening.
Hastening. Yes.
But at least
adding
we'll
in
have
some
good
debris.
food, right?
We will have good food, of course. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in a little bit of stock, only because it's a little thick on the bottom. Just a tad. There we go. Just want to break up the bottom. Just gonna pull off some of this stock and put it here. You can hold the chicken for me.
I'm not touching that fucking thing.
You don't want to touch the chicken, huh?
There you go.
I just want it to capture all the juices. Okay. So the chicken stock is where it needs to be. Got all the right colors in there, got all the veggies in there, everything browned very nicely, got all the debris off the bottom, which is always good. It needs about an hour or so. I'm on the stove covered. Or you can leave it uncovered for a bit and reduce it down a bit. This is where it needs to be. I'm gonna bring it up to a boil and then I'm gonna cover it up and then let it go on simmer for an hour or two. Then I'll strain all the material off and then I'll thicken. So this is the roast chicken that we put in about an hour ago. We're gonna pull it out now and all we're gonna do is cover it for another hour. Just gonna cover it, let it chill down on its own. That looks good, I think. Yeah, good enough. Brown as it should be. There we go. So all we're doing here is just making a little bit of a thickening agent for the stock. So we're just getting some regular flour, just putting your hand in and just grabbing. You don't need a whole lot, just like that, maybe a little bit more. It's probably a tablespoon. What you want to do is grab some of the stock. Blend it up nicely. You can use a fork if you like. I just got a whisk. That's it. Right on in. Just to help out just a little bit, not much.
It's a roux, but not a roux.
Yeah, it's not a roux. We're just gonna cook this down a little bit by half, maybe not that much. The stock has had all the debris components removed and it's just reducing down just as liquid. And that's just what we want. That's perfect. Fabulous. All right, we're just gonna cut some of this chicken. So this was in the oven for an hour at 425 and then removed it and covered it for another hour. And there we go, that's what we got. And what we did is we made a fresh chicken stock with this. And you'll just envision that you've got rice. And this is one of the easiest dishes to make. There we are. Very simple, not very complicated. And you can do potatoes, mashed potatoes, baked potatoes, duck fat potatoes, or rice with this. Easy dish, fabulous to make, works every time. Simple, not complicated.